and Greg is behind the camera today, but next to me is Allison Wolfe. She is an amazing performer. She has her own podcast. She's just a smart lady who is really fun to be around. But Allison Wolfe, we are very lucky here in Mexico City because we had our Allison Wolfe party platter, which we just passed around. We took turns hosting Allison in different parts of the city. And I wanted to know, as the party platter herself, what you thought of different neighborhoods in Mexico City, where you stayed, if you visited certain shops or restaurants, or like just with the vibe of different parts of the city, because it's so big. You really can have a sort of suburban feel in some places and a big cosmopolitan feel in others. So can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, well, it was interesting. I started out in your neighborhood, Coyoacán, and that, I think it was a great place to start because it's kind of mellow, a little bit out of the way, which is nice, tucked away. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, great zócalos, great squares and parks. And then it was kind of cool because I got to go to all these other places and then end up here too. So I guess the next neighborhood I went to was Narvarte. That's a little bit more centrally located. It was fun. I stayed with Violeta Hinojosa, one of my bandmates while here, and that was like, we had a lot of fun. But it's definitely a different vibe. It's not as like pretty there or whatever, but there's lots to do, and so we definitely took advantage of that. So, and I could cruise around it was the first time I cruised around by myself a little bit on the subway and stuff, and that was really fun.
And she does mean cruised. No,
I'm kidding. Maybe. I did meet people on the subway, actually.
You met people everywhere you went.
Yeah.
Allison is very outgoing and friendly. So if you see her on the street, be sure to say hi, because she will probably stop and talk to you.
I think in Narvarte and maybe also in La Roma neighborhood, kind of next to each other, I went to some cool vegan taco places. So there's one place called Mal por Taco. That was really great. And then another one that you took me to, actually, that was Siempre Vegana.
Por Siempre Vegana.
Oh, Por Siempre Vegana. Really good. And some other places like that. So that was kind of fun. I also walked over to No Somos Nada, where I interviewed Tati Soboron, who's the owner. But also I went another night and DJed there.
Yeah.
That was really fun. And a lot of fun people came and danced with me. And actually I had really good food there too. Amazing vegan spaghetti, I'm just going to say. So that was really great. And I could walk to those places from Violeta's in Narvarte. And also, we hung out in Condesa at La Bestia. A lot of hanging out there. I love it because it feels like a kind of punk rock clubhouse. And so does No Somos Nada. So I think it was really cool to have these places where, you could just kind of show up, you're going to run into people, meet people, and stuff like that. Yeah, so that was great. And I want to thank La Bestia so much also for letting me conduct some of my interviews there for my podcast, and also just always showing me a great time. And also, one of my favorite lunch places, Jugos Alex.
Oh, Jugos Alex, yeah. We mentioned them in a previous post, where they make the huaraches and the sopes. They're delicious, and they also squeeze fresh juices. And it's in Condesa, so it is walking distance to Chapultepec Park, where you can see the art museum, you can see the anthropology museum, there's a zoo, there's a castle. It's all kinds of stuff to do there.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the castle yet, but next time. And but yeah,
you never know, we might squeeze it in.
Yeah, I'll figure that out.
It's the day before she leaves. But what did you think of San Jeronimo? A lot of people have not heard of San Jeronimo, and I'm curious because I haven't been there. So
yeah, well, San Jeronimo was a neighborhood, or is a neighborhood, that I went and stayed in for a week at Elis Paprika, the band, and the person house, and it was awesome. I mean, we didn't really go around there very much, so I didn't get to explore that much, but there's definitely a great hang at the Elis Paprika house. and it's like southwest of the city, or it's within the city, but it's a little southwest.
Yeah, and you saw something really interesting there that I had never heard of.
That's true. I got to remember the name. But anyways, one night late when we were like unloading the car, because we were also using that as a base to go tour and play some of our shows, I looked up the street and I just saw this animal run up the cross street. It was a distance away, and it was like a cat, but it had a really long tail, like a raccoon or something. And I just didn't know, is it a rodent? Is it a cat? Is it a dog? Is it what? And Kachi, who's in Elis Paprika, plays drums. I think he told me that what is it called?
Cuautitlan. We'll show you a picture.
But he said apparently it's kind of just endemic to that neighborhood. And so that was really exciting. And they couldn't believe I spotted one. I was like, yeah, I didn't know what it was. So that was cool.
So they're rare.
Yeah.
I thought she'd seen a chupacabras. It's like, I saw this weird animal. Mythical. But there's some really cool flora and fauna unique to Mexico. Like, you also had like different fruits that you'd never tasted before. We had some ice cream that was nanche flavored, and we're like, what the hell is a nanche? But we liked it.
Yeah. And then we got to try some, just, I don't know what you'd say, but just some raw
nanche.
Raw nanches when we were in Cuernavaca.
Yeah. And you tried mamey, right? Did you try mamey?
Well, I haven't had a chance to try mamey, so maybe today we can figure that out.
We will get some mamey into your mouth. Okay. And we'll try and capture the reaction.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very curious about that. But so anyways, staying in San Jeronimo at Elis Paprika's house, it was great because there's just this community there. Most of the band lives there, and that would be the gathering spot before we would head out to different cities on the weekends for our shows. And she's just got this great house that's like 70s styled, and everything there is like homemade bread, homemade peanut butter, homemade jam. A lot of the stuff is grown in her kind of garden, her landscaped garden. And yeah, it was awesome. I was spoiled rotten there.
Where do we sign up? Elis, I want to come over for this. Can you tell us now, since we are talking more about like your, going to different cities and touring, not only did you perform, but you also got to see like different bands that maybe you hadn't seen before. I know we toured with Elis Paprika. We played with the Decapitadas. We played with Fokin Biches, Las Nubes. Can you tell us a little bit about your experiences, not only on stage, how you felt performing for a Mexican audience, was the reaction what you thought it was going to be, but also what it was like to, be organizing and playing these shows with other bands?
Yeah, well, I'm just really grateful to be back on stage again. It's been like 3 years or so for me, so that was just fun and awesome. I was a little bit out of breath, but just fun.
That's because she don't stop moving. She's dancing the entire time, like even at sound check, she's like moving around dancing. And yeah.
Well, when you don't have an instrument to hold or hide behind, I feel like you got to do something with your limbs constantly. Yeah. So, but also, one thing I forgot to mention is the electrolyte, which I learned from the Elis Paprika crew. It's basically like an electrolyte type of beverage that is not as sweet as the stuff we have in the U.S. and they drink it before and after every night out or every show, and I got addicted to it too, and I think I need a sponsorship or something. But
now, do you like electrolyte or do you like Suero? Because there's two different ones, Suero X.
Oh. Right? I know I've had a Suero before, but I mostly stuck to electrolyte.
Yeah, okay.
They have a flavor cocoa, which is really cool. So
I'll have to try that one.
So there's an ad for, electrolyte. But seriously, I was drinking like probably 2 a day. And I enjoyed it. We played in Cuautitlan. We played in Puebla. We played in Toluca. And then we ended up DJing in Cuernavaca, and all of it was really great. I only wish I could have spent the night in all the places to check it out more, because you know how it is. You roll in and kind of roll out, and you end up just partying at the venue. But we had a great crew to party with, because it was with the Elis Paprika band, and they're amazing, by the way. And also these young high school girls, Las Decapitadas, and it was just so much fun. They're just, everyone was great. The music was great. Everyone was fun. And,
there's lots of good energy, right? Lots of good energy between the bands. We all watch each other. We all cheer each other on. We all tell each other when there's food on our teeth.
Or lipstick.
Yeah, or lipstick. I think...
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to ask how, like, for people who've never seen Fokin Biches or Elis Paprika or Las Decapitadas or Las Nubes. I also mentioned, we didn't mention Pájaros Vampiros, who we also saw. They are not an all-girl band, or...
They're all boy band.
They're an all-boy band. But do you want to tell people a little bit about these different bands, just so they get a little flavor?
Yeah, well, I forgot to mention, we also pulled together a Mexico City show, which was great. And that was at La Mezcali in Centro. And that was playing with, our band, Lucia y los Alfileres.
Wait, let me clarify that Lucia and los Alfileres are a regular band, and we had a special guest named Allison Wolfe who came in, but Lucia y los Alfileres is we recorded stuff where sadly Allison Wolfe is not a part of that, but
I'm a poser. It's not my band, but I jumped in.
But she's totally a special guest that we loved having.
It was fun. It was kind of a special version. But but anyways, and we played with Las Fokin Biches and with Las Nubes and what was the other band? ETC, and all local bands. And I don't know, it was amazing. A lot of people showed up. We got to meet a lot of people and hang out.
What type of music would you say these different bands played? Like, how would you describe, say, Fokin Biches?
Punk. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm not really good at describing music, but to me, it's all punk and indie in one way or the other. And but Las Fokin Biches, great stage presence, great fun. I think the lyrics seemed somewhat confrontational and interesting. It was cool. All the bands were just really great at interacting with the crowd. And
how about Elis Paprika? Do you have any standout moments that you think like?
Yeah, Elis is a very powerful singer and performer, and I mean she's got pipes. So and I'd seen her before in Los Angeles, so I knew. But I'd have to say the sound systems that we were playing on here were much better, so I could get a better idea of how she and the whole band sounded. So, and they're just all amazing musicians, but also the lyrics and messages are really interesting to me too, like feminist and in your face somewhat, but also fun and funny at the same time. So it's everything really. Very dynamic performer. And Las Decapitadas is, I don't know, like kind of, I guess more kind of indie or whatever, but also very interesting. They have a song about how they hate high school. I think they'd
be on a great bill with the Lindas, right? Because they're about the same age group. It's like
totally. Although I think Las Decapitadas just all graduated, perhaps.
Oh, okay.
From high school.
So they're a little older.
Yeah.
Old.
Yeah, they're just over the hill. But anyways, and it was fun because some of the shows we went in like a minivan together, and so that was also fun, the road trip, and I don't know, sharing snacks in the van.
So what did you think? I know that the last show we had to, the show in Cuernavaca got canceled due to health reasons. Some of the bands had illnesses, and so it just kind of fell apart at the last minute. But we decided to rally and do DJ sets, and Miss Wolfe has experience DJing. She does that professionally. If you're looking for a DJ, hire her.
DJ Baby Donut.
DJ Baby Donut. She has a great taste in music, and
so do you.
Thank you. She actually was kind of like my sensei. She's like, do you want to do this DJ gig with me? And I'm like, oh, I'm really bad at DJing. I've tried it a couple times, and I feel like, my taste is my taste, and I cannot change it. And she's like, she just cheered me on. She got on stage with me. She plugged in the phone for me. She showed me what I had to do. And then she stayed up there and danced with me for a little while. And I'm just so grateful to you because I had so much fun. I was so scared of doing the DJ night, but I had so much fun. It was you and also the women from Mujeres Vinileras? Vinileras, Mujeres Vinileras. So what was that as an experienced DJ? What was that experience like for you? Is that a typical thing?
Not usually. I usually DJ alone, so it was much more fun dancing with a gang of girls and, just lots of fun. And we got to dance together on stage, although I do have to say, Mujeres Vinileras, they only spin vinyl, and the stage was a little rickety, so I had to curb my dancing a little bit so it's not too...
I think we all wiggled a little too hard, and every now and then the records would skip, so...
Yeah, we skipped some records. And I do have to say, when I saw them pulling out their records, they have an amazing vinyl collection. Lots of records I wish I had, so my eyes got big. I was like, well, I have it on my iPod. I usually DJ vinyl and iPod, actually, and sometimes my iPhone, just to mix it up. Also, just in case I can't queue up a record quick enough, but I go back and forth. But we didn't bring any records with us here to.
We don't. I don't own any records here in Mexico City. Got rid of everything when we moved out here. I know. So those of you out there who own records, you know how painful that is to part with.
But yeah, so it was really fun, and we were all dancing together, and the event was free, and there was lots of cool women there that we got to meet and dance with. It was super hot and sweaty, great. So
I just have to tell one little anecdote, and that is when we got there, the Mujeres Vinileras were already there getting ready to spin records, and one of the turntables wasn't working. So Allison Wolfe saved the day. She's just like, I'll plug in, I'll go first. It's the beginning of the night. There's hardly anybody there. And she's like, I'm going first. So she plugs in and starts dancing around at the same time, she's dancing all over the stage and putting on makeup because she didn't have time to put on makeup before we left. She had jumped in the pool. And it was just a total performance. It was so much fun to watch. And her fellow DJs, we were in the audience just in awe of her, thinking how are we going to follow this? She's putting on a whole show, getting ready on stage. And I think the audience just loved it. And it made us all want to go up there and I don't know, I'm going to go wash my face. I can put my makeup on again.
Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, I wasn't prepared because we actually also got hooked up with a beautiful place to stay outside of Cuernavaca, but just south of the city. And it's awesome. And this woman, Jessica Gallegos, and her partner, Belen, and Belen's family run the place. And it's temazcal, which is what do you call that?
It's like a people oven, is what I call it. No. So Cuernavaca is pretty hot. Did you go into the sweat lodge?
Hell no.
What did you do instead?
I thought I would die if I did that. There was a pool there, really awesome pool. So I just jumped right in and had to swim around. And it was dusk, so as the sun was going down and it got dark, it was so beautiful. And we also had our own rooms, and it's in this kind of feels like a little nature preserve almost. And there's fruit trees everywhere, mango trees. And it was amazing. So we just kind of basked in that luxury for a little bit, and then was like, whoops, we got to go to the show. Or go to the...
forgot to put my makeup on.
Yeah.
I can do it on stage.
Yeah. And then the next day I got to swim again, and we got to see things by daylight. And, so nice. You should go there. It's called Temazcal.
Nauiolin.
Nauiolin.
Yeah. So we'll be doing a whole video on the Temazcal experience. So if you're interested in that, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss it. So I know that you described earlier the travel van experience, but can you tell us a little bit about taking the bus from Mexico City to Cuernavaca? Is it long? Is it tedious? Are there chickens on the bus? What is it?
Maybe just us chickens. But, no, it was great. Alice booked the tickets for us, and we went to the Southern bus terminal. But it was great. I mean, they were pretty fancy. We started on a double-decker bus on top and really cushy big seats that like lean back. We 2 seats on each side, so like we had a lot of space. And there's like little TVs on the back of each seat. And I don't know, I thought it was luxurious. And it was only, I think it was less than 2 hours or something, the drive.
Yeah, it was a quick drive. And I made sure I told them, it's Allison Wolfe, she has to be on top.
That's true. But coming back, we were on a single level, but it was still really like fancy. And we were almost the only people on that bus.
Yeah, and there's 3 seats to a row. So it's like first class on a plane, really. It's very roomy.
Wasn't it?
Well, 2 on our side and 1 on the other side.
Okay.
So if you're a solo traveler, you don't have to share with someone. It's really, really nice. And 2 bathrooms at the back. It's a good experience, and we will be doing a future video about bus rides in Mexico City. So don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in that. So can you tell me a little bit, Allison Wolfe? You are famously a freegan. Can you tell us what a freegan is?
Well, I'm generally vegetarian and vegan. I'm a little bit allergic to dairy, so I have to watch it. But also, I've never really liked dairy, so it's not a big deal. I've never really liked meat, so that's not a big deal. But, you know, I also like free things. And sometimes, you know, if you're at a party or somewhere and, you know, you just, whatever's available and you're hungry, you just eat it. But there's some things I'll never eat, like beef, no way. It's just so gross. But I don't know. So sometimes I'll have a little bit of seafood or chicken, if that's all there is, or something.
Pizza.
A little pizza
here and there. But were there enough places in Mexico City to fulfill your dietary requirements? Because I think a lot of people think, oh, Mexican food's all like, you know, the kind of stuff you get at El Torito or Taco Bell, or it's going to have like cheese, melted cheese and deep fried, and you know, like,
yeah.
What's your culinary experience here in Mexico?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, yeah, it wasn't hard at all to get vegetarian or vegan food, I thought. And I mean, you know, I don't want to be the annoying picky eater, but you know, I kind of am. So, so you try to be cool about it. But yeah, I don't find it hard. But even when I did have dairy occasionally, or there was kind of some dairy in something, I have to say it didn't bother me nearly as much as dairy bothers me in the U.S. So, and I've noticed that in other countries as well. So clearly there's something that we are doing to our dairy that is awful.
Yeah. Good call. I've noticed that too. I agree with you. So just a quick, I'm going to tell you the name of a place, and you give me a quick impression of what you think of it.
Okay.
Or or whatever pops into your mind. La Lagunilla.
Oh, the market. Yeah. Well, I went there yesterday. It was great. We met these cool punk kids on the subway and ended up hanging out with them at this like vintage antique market. There's amazing drinks everywhere that were served in these like what looked like a blender pitcher thing with sparkles on it. We didn't quite get one of those, but we watched a lot of people walk around drunk. So you can walk around with alcohol.
Yeah, that's different. Did you get a michelada by any chance?
I got like a paloma kind of a thing, but dipped with a cup, dipped in all sorts of stuff. And then I also got a alcohol-free pina colada from a stand that was like totally hand squeezed, whatever. And that was amazing. And then I mixed the two together.
That sounds dangerous, but I know you like to live life on the edge. So if you want one of these concoctions of paloma mixed with a pina colada, Ask for the Allison Wolfe.
Special in a sparkly glass.
In a sparkly glass with chamoy and chili and gummy bears around the edges. So, okay, I'm going to tell you another place and tell me what you think. Cuernavaca.
Oh, I loved Cuernavaca. I really love it. It also is a city I got to spend the most time in outside of Mexico City. So, but I think it's beautiful, beautiful old buildings. It's very hilly. And also even just walking down the street in Centro, it was like amazing shopping. I just wish I'd bought everything we walked past.
We are going to have to show you some of the stuff she bought because it's really cool.
Yeah. But anyways, and then we went to a cool kind of hippie type of buffet restaurant there, and it's hot there, but I loved it. And then of course the Temazcal that we stayed at was gorgeous. But yeah, I was really impressed by Cuernavaca, and I wasn't expecting that at all. I wasn't expecting anything. All I knew is that it was going to be hot.
Okay, Toluca.
Toluca, I liked it. I had heard a lot of people from Mexico City, band guys, dissing Toluca, saying you got to get in and get out. But I thought it was very pretty when we drove in, and I saw lots of cool old buildings, which is what I love. And I didn't get to walk around too much, but a little bit, and I liked it. And then the little bar that we played, which was, I forget what it was called, but it was great. And everyone there was so warm and welcoming, and it was fun. We had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, the people are great. And I agree with you, Allison. I think Toluca gets a bad rap, but I really enjoyed my time there. Greg and I stayed an extra day and came back on the bus. And we made a little video for you, so you'll be watching that soon. But we really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I missed out.
So, Cuautitlan.
Oh, that was the first place we went. It's actually like just outside the city, just north, I believe.
Yeah.
I liked it. I mean, it kind of felt like we were in the middle of nowhere, but the thing that impressed me most is that we could take an Uber there and an Uber back. And it really wasn't that much more expensive than just crossing the city somewhere. So that surprised me. Because I can't imagine ever in the U.S. like going from one city to another in an Uber. There's no way you can afford it.
Yeah.
So that was super cool. And then I know that I was hungry, and so I went outside on the street and just kind of grabbed a few little things. And I got a little thing that had like peanuts with big chili peppers in it, and that was exciting for me.
She loves spicy food. But also yesterday you got some garapiñados. Some garapiñado nuts are like candied nuts. And you got those at La Lagunilla. Tell us about that.
Oh, that was so yummy. And they were, hot and cooked up right there. I know you can get this kind of thing on the streets from carts in New York as well.
Yeah.
But it's not something I see very often, especially in LA. And I haven't even seen it much in Mexico City, but at Lagunilla Market we saw it, and they had macadamia nuts, candied and warm, and it was so nice.
I have to say, I mean, it really makes a difference when you warm your nuts.
Good one, Alice.
Anything surprise you about CDMX?
Well, I think it's really pretty. It's really green here. I guess I said that in my first interview. I don't know. I do have to say I'm very grateful for people being able to speak English a lot, because I am horrible at Spanish. I've never had any lessons or training really, and I need to now. I realize I need to learn. But I think people were very patient and gracious with me, and I'm grateful. So thank you, all of you out there. And people were also happy to teach me a little bit of,
I think people appreciate the effort, even if you're not like you're not completely fluent. Just like walking in and saying, ¿Qué onda? ¿Qué onda, güey?
¿Qué onda, güey?
It's just like, I'm trying. I know, like, we speak different languages, and people will meet you halfway. So I'm so glad that you felt successful, and that you felt welcome, and that you felt like we're both reaching out to each other.
Yeah, but I loved it, and I love how each neighborhood seems to have a totally different thing going on. and which actually kind of reminds me of LA. But so I don't know. I think it's cool. I'd like to explore more. Watch Greg and Alice, or Alice and Greg's YouTube videos. You'll get a taste for all sorts of things. I think my favorite neighborhoods, though, is like Centro, where all these beautiful ancient buildings, ancient for me, and that is really impressive to me, and also amazing shopping, and also Coyoacan is just gorgeous. We walked around last Saturday night, and we didn't have a plan, but we just walked around and saw so many people and things, and it was beautiful.
And ate our way through the town. So what do you think of? You had esquites. I had Dori esquites. Did you? I don't remember if you actually tried my Dori esquites.
No, it looks scary.
She looks scared. So Dori esquites is like a little bowl with Doritos at the bottom. Esquites, which is like corn. It can be roasted or boiled, and then like toppings of mayonnaise, cheese, chili, lime. I don't know what else they put in it. There's so many things, but it looked crazy.
It looked crazy. I had kind of regular esquites. Well, I had but this was roasted corn, right? It looked really nice, with some lime and salt on it originally. But then I realized it was a little bit too sour, but also I just poured tons of hot sauce on it, probably too much, because the people standing next to me, their eyes got real big.
More. They were cheering her on.
But it was kind of like so hot and sour that I had to go back and ask for the mayo, because I had said no mayo, please, and so I put the mayo back in there. But it was
mellowed
awesome.
It out a little bit.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay, you weren't here. This is a little bit off the subject, but you weren't here for any of the demonstrations. But could you feel a feminist presence in the air?
Yeah, I mean, as we went around, especially on the buses and stuff like that, you'd see monuments that were barricaded, and there would be this kind of lavender color paint, like graffiti. And so I would ask what it said, and I think a lot of times people told me that it said, like, we protect our monuments more than we protect our women or our girls. And there are a lot of feminist messages like that around. And it was kind of cool to see that, visually around the city.
Okay, Allison, last question. Is there anything you wish you'd done or brought with you to prepare for your visit here? Anything you forgot?
Oh, it seemed like I forgot a lot of things. But I think that, I guess maybe more... It feels like an ad. More Zyrtec. I should have brought that. But I know cetirizine, is that what it's called? The generic. Anyway, it's this certain kind of allergy pill that's, I guess doesn't really... No,
they don't sell it here.
You can't find it.
No.
So
I've tried.
So bring that as a gift or for yourself. What else? I don't know. I mean... I felt like most things I could just buy here and stuff. I just had to remember to do it.
Yeah.
And get out there a little. I don't know. I brought some gin.
Oh, yeah. We still haven't opened it. Yes.
But, it's
in the fridge.
Airport gin, so whatever. I'm sure I'll see it again.
It's good gin. We're going to put it in the fridge. Hopefully have at least one cocktail before you leave. Even though we have had our share of cocktails, and we're probably going out tonight again.
Yeah. But I do wish that I had gone to more of the kind of historic cantinas, especially in Centro. I would like to spend more time in Centro. I haven't been able to go to the castle, which I would like to have gone to, so next time. I don't know. Especially the more and more I watch Alice and Greg's YouTube channel, the more I realize I missed. So next time, if anyone's coming here, watch all the episodes, and then you can make your playlist. Well,
you can decide. At least you can decide, I like that place or don't like that place.
Yeah, that's your itinerary, though. Take notes. So, yeah, stuff like that. I wish I could do more. But it's a big city, so I can't imagine even living here for a year, you can't have done everything.
Right. Yep. So thank you very much for being with us here today, Allison Wolfe.
Oh, you're welcome.
The Real Baby Donut. Be sure to look for her podcast, I'm in the Band, and She's on all the socials. Tell us your socials so people can follow you.
Okay. Well, I have my personal one, which is at RealBabyDonut on Instagram and Twitter. I'm better at Instagram than Twitter by far. I'm on Facebook, just my name or whatever. Allison Wolfe. I also have an I'm in the Band podcast account, and I think it's I'm in the Band podcast on Instagram. And Twitter, it might be I'm in the Band pod. Again, I don't really do the Twitter so much. But yeah, I don't know, lots of fun. And you can also find my podcast episodes on my personal website, AllisonCWolfe.com.
Yay!
And hopefully I'll be back and, I don't know, speak more Spanish and see more things and eat more food.
Thank you for joining us. Please do give us a like if you liked it, and don't give us a dislike if you didn't like it. Subscribe. We post every Thursday. We try and keep it diverse and interesting. We never make videos about anything that we don't find absolutely fascinating. So hopefully your tastes are in line with us. So see you next Thursday. Y'all come back now.
Here.